Get set, get set. 118, watch out, kid. Stop. Officer. 118, watch out. 12. Turn. Get set, get set. 118, watch out. Hot. Officer. Up. Get set, get set. 118, watch out. Up. Officer. 118, box, up. Get set, up. Officer. 118, watch out. Up. Get set. Line around, up. 21. Start. Officer. 118, watch out. Up. Get set. 118, up. Officer, up. Get set. 118, start. Officer, hot. Get set, up. Officer, up. Get set. Officer. 118, up. Get set, up. Officer. 118, 21. Up. Get set. Start. Officer. 12. Up. Get set. 118, up. Officer, stop. Get set. 118, start. Officer, hot. Get set. 21, up. Get set. Get set. Up. 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 Get set. Get set. Up. Up. Turn around. Stop.
Well, the onset of fall weather, certainly a welcome occurrence for folks in Silicon Valley, and we've got football on a gorgeous day here in Santa Clara as we are situated at Levi's Stadium. Today it's week 4, and we've got what should be a great one here, as it'll be the Minnesota Vikings taking on the San Francisco 49ers. 3-0 versus 0-3. Will current form hold? We'll find out as we're off in week 4. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. At their own 22-yard line.
Ready, set.
On play action, now McCarthy. And his first look is incomplete.
And you think back to the success he had throwing the football in the win last week, so naturally, he's going to come out throwing here, but that time, they couldn't connect.
2nd and 10. McCarthy, he'll set to throw it. This one brought in by Jefferson. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
To the air with McCarthy. And he will have a Vikings first down. At least it appears that way. And he got it by maybe the length of a football. Well, they kept it simple there, CD, only needing the short gain to move the chain, so they didn't want to go with a deep throw. They just go with that safer, shorter throw and able to convert.
Nothing wrong with that at all, partner. Check the box, right? Make sure you pick up the first down. Offense is getting established. You're moving the ball. You're not turning it over. Check, check, check. They like what they're doing early in the game.
And he'll get this up to about the 40. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
Now a first carry for their fullback. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down.
Well, not a lot of flash and dash on that play. 2nd and 2, and they hand it to the big man, and he ends up picking up a first down. A little bit of gray area there, though, but I think what they thought, hey, we hand it to him here. If we come back and don't get it, we still got another down to try and pick it up.
60 license.
They'll run on first down. Randall. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, second and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Just need a yard here, 2nd and 1. On play action, McCarthy. On the RPO, he'll keep it himself. Open man, he's got Jefferson across the formation. That's good for a first down, his 2nd catch of the opening drive.
2nd and short, that's a rundown, so it's definitely a good time to go play action if you're feeling it. And they do so and pick up a first down.
They'll go play action. Here's McCarthy. Now a run here off the RPO. He'll keep it. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a first down.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays. There's Hawkinson in the end zone. Touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Vikings will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Moody good with the extra point. And it's now a 7-0 game. So after the made field goal by Moody, he's back out to kick this one away. Oh, good return up past the 30. Still going. One man to beat. And he will score. Touchdown, 49ers. Well, there you go. They gave up a score to start the game, and as quick as they could get it back, they did on the return.
And people talk about this all the time, whether you're coaching it, whether you're trying to work on it, whether you're just trying to put in the minds of your players. Attack back as fast as you can after giving up a score. No quicker way than on a kick return.
Point after, right down the middle. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And he won't quite make it to the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown. And the last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles' defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Touchdown, Vikings. Ty Felton, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Vikings have taken the lead. Moody good with the extra point. And that makes the score 14-7.
14, 49ers 7. Jake Moody.
So following the touchdown, here's Moody back out to send it away. Breaks through the contact. And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
At their own 27-yard line.
Purdy going to lead the 49ers to the line. 1st and 10 at their own 27. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. A dump off for Dixon. He'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards.
And they'll use him out of the backfield, and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago. There's another one right there.
from the 35. Here's second down and 3.
Get set. Get set. 21.
Purdy will set up to throw it here. Connects with Kittle underneath. And Kittle going to have a 49ers first down as he'll get this up to the 39.
Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Outside. 18.
Purdy looking to throw. That is caught. McMillan with it. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
A well-executed 22-yard gain.
That's his first catch of the game and an impressive one against multiple defenders.
And how about that start? Really aggressive. Yeah, there was double coverage out there, but that didn't stop them at all. They went right at it and defeated it on that play.
Get set. 18. What's up? 53.
Purdy now to throw off the play action. And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete. The Niners had 0-3 here to begin the campaign. And you hate to have to say it this early in the season, but getting close to must-win time, is it not?
And I totally understand why you expressed it that way, because it's so early in the season, it feels like hyperbole. But I think you are spot on this one. Yes, there's still time to turn things around, but they've got to start to win right now if they have any hopes of trying to make the playoffs.
The Niners passing game in sync now. They've got another first down.
10 at the 29-yard line.
Get set. Yellow. 18. What's up? Cut.
Purdy. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's second down.
Yeah, their back's up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
Once more, Purdy looking to throw. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's third down.
What will look like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
Purdy now to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2.
26 yards.
On first and goal, Dixon. And across the goal line, into the end zone. Touchdown, 49ers.
A great play there. His 5th rushing touchdown now on the year. And the Niners are within an extra point of tying up this ball game. Well, he finishes off the drive with a touchdown run, Charles. Remember, he also had a catch on this drive as well.
And that's what running backs want to be in today's NFL, a complete back. 3 down, stay on the field, run it, and catch it. And he gets it done.
The extra point splits the uprights, and we are tied at 14.
This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And he'll go down as his drive will start at the 25-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And the points, they have come fast and furious in this quarter.
You really don't want to be on the defensive side of the ball right now, do you? Because you're either thinking, my replacement may get an opportunity.
Your head better be on a swivel.
Totally. Or maybe I just need to get out of the game for a while because I just can't slow these guys down. They've got to figure out a way to disrupt these offenses. And typically, One guy makes a big play, and that can help change things.
They'll be looking for disruption on both sides right now. Pretty entertaining start. 14-all the score on EA Sports.
Is third down.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Looking to throw McCarthy. He's got his running back out of the backfield. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. Well, they were in search of a short gain on third down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards.
Well, he was a busy man out of the backfield a week ago. They got him the ball early and often. I have no doubt in my mind that he'll be a big part of the game plan here as well.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. They'll try the left side. Randall. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
There's so many definitions of a complete back. I think most people think a guy who can block, a guy who can catch, and a guy who can run. But how about when you put it all together as a runner, and you can fake people out, you can be shifty, and also run with some power and break tackles, as we just saw on that pickup.
McCarthy off the play fake. Now he'll tuck this and run. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. It's a gain of 8, and it'll wind up moving the chains.
Certainly not the way they drew it up in the playbook, but that's why they love this guy back there. He sees things breaking down, and he's more than capable of finding an escape route and still getting a decent gain.
On first down, Randall. And he maneuvers up the middle for 3, and it's 2nd down.
That's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run. But for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Here's McCarthy. Wide open receiver complete. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
1st and goal, Minnesota.
And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
If you're going to keep these guys out of the end zone, you've got to be able to commit to stopping the run, and that's a nice job there getting the safeties involved in run support.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. Touchdown, Vikings! Jordan Addison from 3 yards out. And the Vikings have taken the lead. Extra point try now for Moody. It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-14.
21, 49ers 14. Jake Moody.
So here's Moody back out there now to send this one away. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And a nifty return there all the way across the 40.
At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. For this offense, Charles, remember the last time they were out here, marched it nearly the full length of the football field, and a lot of the attack went through the air, so now they're seeing if they can duplicate that performance.
Okay, if I show my age a little bit, partner, because I can hear my high school coach, John Ford. I can hear his voice in my head. Laddie, when you put the ball in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. For the way the game's being played now, this is just part of what they do. So I don't think they should change anything at all. They've been dominant. Keep throwing it around.
Up the middle they go with Dixon. And good vision there as he's across midfield and down to the 45-yard line. First down, San Francisco. The pickup, 14 yards. Good push up front and that run in between the tackles.
Let's play the leverage game here. Offensive line just got lower than the defensive front, and they were able to get their pads on them and move them backwards and create space for their running back to roam.
Throwing here, Purdy. This is Jennings. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Timing is so important on a route like this because he's going to line up out right and then cut straight across the field. I think the ball might have come out a count or two too late because by the time he was able to secure it, not much of a chance to turn it upfield.
Shotgun now with Purdy. Connects with Kittle underneath. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
They got a completion there. That's clearly an example of one side happy, the other side not very happy. Defense, very, hey, take 1 or 2 yards. We're good with that. Offense, you got to expect to get more on the passing play.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Back to throw, Purdy. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Dixon. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Out of the gun, Purdy. He'll get it inside the 20. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football.
What's up?
Purdy sets up to throw again. That's to the right side, complete to Kittle. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
Now Purdy. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, Brandon, we see why it's a team game there because there's a sigh of relief that they just released defensively. If he's able to get that one away, that's likely a touchdown. But instead, that pressure from the front got to him and forced the incompletion.
You're right. He had him open, just a split second too late on the release. And that is incomplete.
In any event, it happened pretty quickly. I'm not sure he made the right decision on that one. I think if he had it to do over again, he would have found a different target downfield. But he made his decision, and that one's incomplete.
And now 3rd and goal following incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Purdy will look to throw again here. And he's got it. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. George Kittle from 6 yards away. And the 49ers are an extra point away now from tying this ball game. Extra point right down the middle. And we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half. A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away. And he's going to be stopped cold. Good coverage there by the kick team to bring that return to an abrupt halt.
26-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
So both of these teams, Charles, coming off touchdowns now, but this offense, they just had to stand on the sideline, watch their opponent author a really impressive drive to reach the end zone.
Yeah, and I think you're not telling yourself the truth if you don't think there's some one-upsmanship going on right now, because they just had their touchdown answered by a drive of double-digit plays that also found the end zone. Now they want to do something even more impressive to answer that one.
Looks again for T.J. Hockenson, and he's got him again.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings.
A gain of 14. And the Vikings first down.
Throwing is McCarthy. It's caught by Randall. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line. Now they'll audible to something else.
First down, Vikings.
18, go.
McCarthy, he'll set to throw it. Complete. Jefferson the target. And he's taken down inside the 30.
13 more yards. That's another Vikings first down. A gain of 13 yards. First down, Minnesota.
Throwing again, McCarthy. Open man, that's Felton. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. So 5 plays on this drive, Charles. All passes, all completions. And just like that, they're in the red zone.
And don't you think the playbook opens up a little bit more now? Because all they've done is throw the football. If you want to run it now, you may very well have them fooled.
Second down in the yard. To the air with McCarthy. He gets it to Addison. They'll get just a couple, but the sticks move again.
It's a gain of 2. And the Vikings first down.
So the ball down to the 16 here for first and 10.
First down.
On play action, McCarthy. On the RPO, he'll keep it himself. And it's caught. And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. That gain of 15 gets him on the doorstep, first and goal.
First and goal at the 1-yard line.
McCarthy going to sneak it. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime.
On the set.
Now they empty the backfield and motion the man left. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. Touchdown! From a yard out. And the Vikings will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half. Moody good with the extra point. And they will take a 7-point lead.
49ers 21. Jake Moody to kick off.
So after the made field goal by Moody, he's back out to kick this one away. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And they got to be pleased with this. He brings it all the way up to the 40-yard line.
Any return that gets you to midfield is a great return. 1 first down, and you're almost in field goal position.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And with decent starting field position, there may be only a couple completions away from field goal range. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. That goes for a gain of 31.
And this is how you answer a touchdown the other end. You come out throwing to start your own drive. And not just throwing, but pushing it down the field. And they come up with a big play as they try to answer back with a score of their own.
And it's complete. zone. Touchdown, 49ers. Alec Pierce, a touchdown on a kick return, and now one through the air. And the Niners have a chance to tie the game here in the final seconds of the half. Point after, right down the middle. And that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. So 6 seconds, all that remains of this first half as the kick is away. And that's going to skip into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
And only 6 seconds on the clock, so time likely for just one play.
And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. Now we've got movement up front, and I think this is going to be on Minnesota. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. Second down and long. A final shot before break. McCarthy. And incomplete on the deep ball. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
At their own 28-yard line.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive.
It's a tie football game here. What do you think, Charles, the message was at halftime?
Well, I think that they probably just looked at things and said, we're fortunate that this is a tie game. No need to panic. No need to change a whole lot. We didn't put anything close to our best in the first half, so we don't have to go out and win one for the Gipper. Let's just go out and play our best football and win one for us. I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open, and when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass.
Here's Purdy.
Complete to the tight end, Kittle, over the middle of the field. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. He's up to 70 yards receiving now as that last catch gets him a first down.
The 47-yard line.
A give running left, Dixon. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
From just across the midfield stripe, here's a second down and 6.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Dixon again. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7. Is that one officially a loss of 1?
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Here comes 3rd down and 7.
21, 18, watch out!
Dixon trying up the middle.
And they nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37.
13 yards there and a Niner first.
So that's what that elbow in my ribs was all about. You thought they were going to throw the ball as well.
Absolutely. I think everybody thought they were throwing the football, caught him off guard.
Yeah, I'm telling you, when you have the courage to make that type of a play call, a lot of times you actually get rewarded.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
This time they'll throw it. Here's Purdy. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
Picked up by Charvarius Ward. And the Vikings are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. So an opening drive interception to begin this second half.
And just think about the time you spend in the locker room going over what you expected to do in the second half. Not the way they saw it, not the way they drew it up. You find out this is something that you can't just edit, right? There's no rewrite here. This is live, and now they've got to find a way out of this hole.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They start near midfield following the interception as they begin 1st and 10. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
Well, after watching him ring the bell that many times and put the ball in the end zone throwing it, you had to figure they had to bring some type of pressure. They had to change things up on defense.
And able to get to him, put him on the ground, so maybe just something to throw him off a little bit.
Yeah, that had to feel a lot better for the defensive guys. They've been getting carved up in this one. To finally knock him on the ground and force an incompletion, that's got to be a sigh of relief.
Up the middle they go. Randall. And he's got this one across midfield into 49er territory. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have a Vikings 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
They'll run on 1st down. Randall. And let me tell you, that wasn't as easy as it looked. Dancing away and moving forward for 6 yards.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
From the 34-yard line, here's 2nd and 3. From the shotgun, McCarthy. Going underneath, he's got Hawkinson. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 22-yard line. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
Oh, just a desperation heave there, and it's intercepted. And the 49ers are going to have it here at their own 15.
The Niners take over 1st and 10 at their own 15-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
Not an ideal way to end their previous drive. They threw the interception, Charles, after they had built up some momentum. They were moving the football, but something to at least build on for this offense as they run back out here.
Yeah, you're right about that. Up until that last play, everything was working pretty well for this offense, gaining chunks of yardage, getting 1st downs, really making a push for the end zone, and looked like they had a nice rhythm going. Now you got to have a short memory here. Don't focus on the interception. Focus on what came before it and get back to it.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on 1st down. Dixon running from the shotgun. And a good pickup there. He gets about 6 up to midfield.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end.
Ball right on the 50-yard line. Here's a 2nd down and 4.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. They'll find McMillan here. The Niners passing game in sync now. They've got another first down.
And the 49er first down. First and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Get set. 18. Watch out. Spot.
Purdy looking to throw.
They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line.
And good yardage there on first down, because sometimes all you need to do on the screen is get one key block. That might set your man free, and that was pretty good pursuit to the football defensively, or it could have gone for more.
Purdy now to throw.
And this is caught. Jennings. Touchdown, 49ers. Jerome Jennings, 31 yards. And the 49ers have moved down in front. Great corner route there. Not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You've got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field and you're breaking away to that corner. Boy, that was well executed.
The extra point splits the uprights, and they will take a 7-point lead. The 49ers ready to kick it away, and here we go.
And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And the interception last time on the opponent's side of the field, certainly not what they wanted.
Put it mildly, that is so frustrating, because that signifies there's a drive going on. You're in a good spot, great place to run some of your best offense. Instead, they turn the ball over.
Yeah, turned the ball over last time. See if they can avoid doing it here.
First down, Minnesota.
Working out of the gun is McCarthy.
And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
Have to give some credit to the defender on that when he read all of his keys perfectly and got a great break on the ball and able to force that incompletion.
Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. Here's McCarthy.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down. The Vikings send out their punter. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. Well, there was a 42, making a 43-yard punt. 6 on the return. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive.
A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And, partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the Imfl on EA Sports. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Get set, get set. 118, watch out.
Purdy will set up to throw it here.
That's caught out right by Jennings. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
From the 38 now, here's 2nd and 3.
118, 118.
And throwing here, Purdy.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Purdy. Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 45-yard line. I don't want to make a story where there's not one, but he threw the 3 interceptions last week. Looked a little uncomfortable. He looks much more comfortable today.
Yeah, just 1 pick so far and his team leads. So now they can play complementary football, meaning if he takes care of the ball and his offense, if they're humming along, the defense doesn't have to be out there as long. He's taking care of his guys on the other side of the ball.
And they're enjoying a 4th quarter advantage.
Shotgun now with Purdy. Again to the big tight end, George Kittle.
So the completion good for 7 there. And that will bring up 2nd down.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage.
Second down and 3.
Ready? 70.
And he's going to use his legs here.
And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Nice pickup. 10 yards and a 1st down on the keeper.
All right, I don't want to get too poetic here where they talk about, the eyes being the windows of the soul. You know what else the eyes do? They see the open spaces on a field, and those eyes carry your legs to those spots, and that's what happened on that play. He saw an opening and went and got it.
Well, he really hasn't ran the ball all game. 4th quarter here, need a big play, able to pick it up. So whatever the eyes saw and created, it worked.
And he's got Pierce.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The Niners passing game in sync now. They've got another 1st down.
These guys certainly are not hiding what their intention is. They're absolutely showing it. They're definitely not going to sit on this lead here in the 4th quarter.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Back to throw, Purdy.
Completes it to Jennings. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it's 2nd down.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Now Purdy. That one finds Pierce right side.
And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown.
Alec Pierce,
his 3rd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year.
And the 49ers might be headed to the win column for the first time this season as they add on to their lead.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead now up to 14.
The score, Niners 42, Vikings 28.
The 49ers ready to kick it away, and here we go.
And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That's good for 28 yards. So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 47.
On play action. Now McCarthy. They're looking for Jefferson, but this is intercepted. Picked up by Christian Harris. And the Niners are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line.
The Niners take over 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
Purdy going to lead the 49ers to the line. 1st and 10
at their 35-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive.
Now he's going to step up and run.
And he'll slide to a halt here, still a little shy of the 1st down marker. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard. Back to throw. Purdy. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
Out of the gun, Purdy. Connects with Kittle underneath.
The 20. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. George Kittle with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game.
And the 49ers have pretty well put it away here in the 4th quarter.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. The 49ers ready to kick it away, and here we go.
And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19.
At their own 19-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Remember, they have won 3 straight, but getting to 4 straight does not appear to be in the cards as they are in a big 4th quarter hole.
And he'll be corralled right around the 34. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
And the Vikings, 1st down.
McCarthy operating from the gun.
And this is Randall here over the middle. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10.
Looking to throw McCarthy. Now he'll tuck this and run.
And that's caught inside the 30. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done.
That's another Vikings 1st down.
Now McCarthy.
It's caught by Randall. They'll go for a gain of 7. And it'll be 2nd down.
A 7-yard pickup. Brings up 2nd.
Now a handoff up the middle. Randall.
And the Vikings Vikings are going to have a first and goal as he's able to take this inside the 10 to the 8.
And the Vikings first down. First and goal at the 8-yard line.
McCarthy, he'll set to throw it. This is caught. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Justin Jefferson with career touchdown number 70. And the Vikings have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. Now Moody for the PAT. And the lead will be cut down to 14.
Makes the score Niners 49, Vikings 35. Jake Moody to kick off.
So following the touchdown, here's Moody back out to send it away. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And they got to be pleased with this. He brings it all the way up to the 40-yard line.
Now that's the kind of return you're looking for. To get to that spot on the field, that allows you to do a lot of things on offense.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now defensively they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point.
Now inside the 25.
Touchdown, 49ers. A big play there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Niners tack on another score as they have dominated this 4th quarter.
The
extra point splits the uprights. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
At their own 23-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, it's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
To the air with McCarthy. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after their last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. As it'll come with 36 seconds to go in half number 2.
From the shotgun, McCarthy.
He's going to find his running back. It's complete.
And he's going to be forced out of bounds inside the 5-yard line.
A big play there for Minnesota. 41 yards.
Well, this game has certainly had no shortage of offense. Both teams have been revved up from the start. And here's yet another big play. Boy, both defenses have just got to be dragging out there because they've been run ragged throughout.
Now he's going to step up and run. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
Well, I kind of got to give him credit. Another incompletion there, yes, but he's still trying to make plays outside the pocket.
Yeah, he's been hemmed in for much of the game. How about him getting outside there? And that's what you want to see from your quarterback. He's not giving up on this game, so every other player on the field has to say to himself, I can't give up either.
They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal.
McCarthy off the play fake. Now a run here off the RPO. He'll keep it.
Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock.
That was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up third down.
This likely a must-have, 3rd and goal.
They'll try to run this one in. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Vikings are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. Moody good with the extra point.
And the lead will be cut down to 14. So time definitely not in their favor. Down 2 scores, but they'll try the onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for San Francisco, it took a few weeks, but they finally get their first win of the season here in Week 4. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Seattle Seahawks. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, the defeat is their first of the year as they drop to 3-1. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Lambeau to take on the Packers. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.